next to follow is she not a ray of sunshine in autumn? Yes, thank you. Wow. So I'm going to introduce our speaker today. I brought her bio up here. I could almost just, because I know her well, many of you do. Reverend Beverly Pryor is a member of Unity Worldwide Ministries Ministry Consulting Team. She serves as a mentor in the UWM Special Dispensation Program. She'll have to tell us all what that means. She also supports Unity of Little Rock as the board treasurer, formerly the board president. Prior to moving to Little Rock in 2021, Rev Bev, as she was referred to at Unity of the Hill Country in Kerrville, Texas, served as UHC minister for 3 years. Rev Bev moved to Kerrville from Dallas when she was an active licensed Unity teacher for 13 years at Unity of Dallas and a member for over 20 years. She still looks like she's 16. I'll have what she's having. Okay. She is a speaker, offers special services, conducts sacred ceremonies, and more. She will always consider Unity of Dallas her home church, and we consider her ours. Welcome, Rev Bev.
Thank you, Ann. You know, Ann could give me an introduction off the cuff, but you know, Ann off the cuff can be a little tricky. So thank you, Ann, for staying in the lines there for a minute. I normally lead the meditation myself, and I will next week, but this week I brought you a special gift. And I want to introduce to you my dear friend and He's an executive in the business world, but with the Art of Living Foundation, he is a senior teacher and a very skilled and powerful one. So he is going to offer the meditation for you today. Rajneesh Gupta, please give him a wild round of applause.
I'll take that one. Got it. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's close our eyes. Let's take a few deep breaths in and out. Both your feet are flat on the floor. You can adjust yourself. You're sitting comfortably. And see if you can be still for the next few moments, gently, without too much effort. Another deep breath in and completely let go. There is nothing to do right now. Nothing to know either. Become aware of all the sounds in your environment. The humming of the air conditioner, creaking of the chairs, chirping of the birds, any traffic in the distance. Accept all the noises. Be in harmony with your environment. Another deep breath in and let go the breath completely. Gentle smile on your face and just relax. Now very gently take your awareness, your attention to the base of your spine. Keep your attention on the base of your spine. Deep breath in and out. Now slowly move your attention up to the abdomen region. Abdomen, hips, that region. Deep breath in and relax. Now, take your attention to the navel region. Your navel is expanding and contracting as you breathe. Just keep your attention there. This is the energy center for laughter, joy, and generosity. Deep breath in and breathe out. Now gently, let's move to the heart region, to your chest. Just gentle awareness, gentle attention, without much effort, in the heart region. This is the energy center for love and fear. When the energy is rising through this center, you experience love. When it's going down, you experience fear. Moving up to the throat region. Grief and gratitude reside in this region, in this energy center. Full attention in the throat region. When we put attention on an energy center, it opens up, it blossoms. Deep breath in and let go. Moving up in between your eyebrows. Gentle attention in between your eyebrows. Anger and alertness reside in this energy center. When the energy flows down, anger occurs. When the energy flows up, alertness happens. In between your eyebrows, the body is still but relaxed. Moving up to the top of your head. Just gently, don't try to locate the top of your head. Just gently your awareness to the top of your skull, your head. Bliss resides in this energy center. Just gently become aware as you put more attention on the top of your head. You become more relaxed, experience greater bliss and happiness. Just gently. Deep breath in and let go. Now silently in your heart, say to yourself, I am totally blessed. I can accomplish anything I want with divine love and divine grace. Feel the divine grace flowing through you right this moment. With a smile on your face and joy in your heart. Deep breath in and let go. Now very gently become aware of your body. Any sensations, if the body wants to move a little bit, you can let it move. And your environment, your surroundings. And keeping awareness on your breath, slowly, gently. As you feel complete, you may open your eyes. No rush. Just gently when you feel complete. So we focused on the 7 energy centers in the body today. In Sanskrit, they are called chakras. And each of the energy center is responsible for certain emotions. So when we focus our attention on and they can be positive and negative, except for the top of the head where only bliss resides. But when we put our attention on the energy center, the positive qualities start to appear more. Thank you.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel very balanced. Do you feel balanced and open and very receptive? And again, let's just give Miss Autumn another big round of applause. Very talented. So my talk today is Give It Up for Prosperity. Yes! Give it up. What does that usually mean? A round of applause for prosperity. Come on, yay! Woo! Let's get excited about prosperity, right? This is not something we need to be ashamed of or embarrassed of or overly humble. We all want our lives to be full and rich and connections and all of these things in our lives that mean something to us. But before I get too far, I wanted to acknowledge this morning I came early enough to sit in on the Spanish-speaking service that your board member, Michael Martinez, and his lovely wife and several other people here within the community are putting on at 10 o'clock. And it's really it's an amazing experience because you can click in on an app and you can listen to it in English as they're speaking Spanish, and you can look at the words on the screen. And even if you do neither one of those things, just the energy in the room is very alive and very fun. So I would encourage you to visit. People don't have to speak Spanish, do they, Michael? No, you can come and enjoy it. So go to the lottery event. You don't have to speak Spanish to go to the lottery event. Go and enjoy that as well. So, as Tony Cowart likes to say, I always like to refer to our 5 principles, right? God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. Remember? Say it. God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. Why do I always talk about it? Come on. Because it is the foundation of everything. And I'm going to tie it in with a few other things today, but I want you to really understand God is everywhere present. God is absolute good. And in the Hermetic principles of ancient Egypt, they call it the all, right? So God is everywhere present in the all. There's all, and then there's the all, right? So everywhere is God, including within each and every one of us. We're not a child of God, even though we use that phraseology. We are an expression of God. And I'm going to go into a little bit more of that later. But it's not a paternal relationship or a maternal relationship. It is the all, and then the all expressing as each and every one of us, every blade of grass, everything that exists is the all. Why is that important? It's important for prosperity. It's important to understand how the world works. The third one is I think, right? So our thoughts, and especially our words, because with our word comes a vibration. Our thoughts have an energy and a vibration. It's important to understand that our thoughts and our words are creating. When you want prosperity, You can't speak against what you want and receive what you want. Eric Butterworth, one of the classic unity authors, says you get what you expect, not what you want. I pray and meditate. Why? Because that is the only true way to connect, to know that truth of absolute good, absolute presence. It's not, just like Rajneesh was saying in the meditation, each chakra, depending on which way the energy is flowing, it can be love or it can be fear. That's true with everything, right? Well, what we pray for, we can pray one way or the other. It's what we put our attention on. The act of prayer is connecting with that absolute. No judgment about which way, but it's a power and a presence that we can call upon, that we can activate in our lives. And then, of course, the final one is thinking and doing or living, as is sometimes substituted. We've got to put the truth into action. So God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. The law of giving, receiving, you might have heard of this. And this is from Charles Fillmore's book. He's a Unity co-founder, his book Prosperity. The law of giving and receiving, as Jesus taught it, is the law of mind action that can be learned and applied. If you haven't already learned this, the law of mind action, I invite you to get on it right now. Right now. Start paying attention to your words, to your thoughts, those habitual patterns of behavior. If there's anywhere in your life, your health, your relationships, your finances, that you feel a lack, take responsibility for that. Take responsibility for your thoughts and your words and your actions and watch it change. So the law of correspondence is part of that ancient Egyptian Hermetic principles. It's as above, so below. As above, so below, right? So when we meditate, we bring our connection with all, with everything there is, with source, with substance. We take that time through meditation to connect in with all there is. As above, not necessarily above, everywhere present, so below, bringing into our reality in this 3D human world. As within, so without. As within, we bring that consciousness of one within us, then we express it outward. As within, so without. So if you look into your life and you start judging, what do you get back? Judgment. If you have criticism, what do you get back? Criticism. Our life is that way. If you focus on the lack of something in your life, if you focus on illness as opposed to wellness, what do you get more of? Illness. You can answer. You know the answer to these questions, right? It's the way that it works. It's the law of correspondence. But there's also the law of compensation. All of these are really important metaphysical laws, and they go back to ancient Egypt. You know why I keep talking about the Hermetic principles of ancient Egypt? Because we still don't know how they built the pyramids. We don't really know. It is because of these laws that are beyond our comprehension, but at one time, humankind knew how to use this consciousness, how to use this energy. So we need to get back to understanding how the world works and using it in our favor. We are not victims. We are empowered. We are expressions of all there is in this world. There's nothing that can be denied you. So as you sow, so shall you reap. This is an important message. Just like I was saying, if you sow criticism, you receive criticism. If you sow judgment, you receive judgment. If you sow lack, if you sow, oh my achy this, oh my poor that, oh my wah wah wah, what do you get back? That's all you can see. And next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about brain science. So we're talking about the receiving part of it. But it's really important that you understand the creative energy that you are in this world. There's nothing that you can't do. Sowing and reaping is mentioned 97 times in the Bible. Now, I know the Bible's a big book and a lot of things are said over and over and over, but 97, that's a pretty significant number of times to mention something. In Luke 6:38, the Bible says this, "Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap." Into your lap. For the measure you give will be the measure you get back. Giving is an important energy. Just like Rajneesh was guiding us through opening up our energy centers, opening up that truth within us. Giving does the same thing. It's an activating energy because of these metaphysical laws that are in effect whether you take command of them or not. You can go, oh, la, 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 la. I don't want to know. I just want to do my thing, and I just want to sit over here and complain because things happen and I'm not responsible. Okay, you have my permission to do that. But I really want to see you take control. I really want to see every one of you step into your fullness. Step into your power. Know the truth of who you are. And it begins with giving. Years ago, I used to be a part of the team that did new member orientation. It was a longer process back in the day. And one of my sections, because I always loved to teach prosperity as a priority, was to teach that in the new members class. And a couple came in and they said, we're fine with money. We don't have a problem giving our money. It's our time that we don't have so much of. And I said, well, that's what you need to give. And they went, what? They thought, yeah, we would just say, okay, give your money. No. When you believe that you lack something, that's where you give. They say, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Because that person already knows how to get in there and give. Because the more you give time, the more time you have. We think time is finite, but we don't want to get too much into all that multidimensional, crazy, wild and crazy metaphysical stuff. But the time that you need is always there. Prosperity is infinite and time is infinite. And if you need to get things done and you prioritize the things that are of a giving nature, and I don't mean in a self-sacrificing, pitiful way, because the energy with which you give, the consciousness from which you give, makes a big difference. Has anybody read Lynn Twist's The Soul of Money? She really explains that consciousness from which you give in an amazing way. And when she was fundraising, she wouldn't accept money that somebody was giving to her begrudgingly. It had to be given from a consciousness of willingness and generosity. So in Mark 12, 41 and 44, there's a story about Jesus and all the people he's watching as all of the people are giving their tithes, they weren't really tithes, they were obligations to the Romans. And all of these people were coming along. And then he notices this one woman. And he calls his disciples over and he goes, hey, you guys, come on over here, just like that. Hey, come on over. And he said, I want you to look at something. And in Mark 12:44, it says, for all of them have contributed out of their abundance, but she, the widow, out of her poverty has given in everything she has, put in everything she has, all she had to live on. She had 2 copper pennies, 2 copper coins, the equivalent of a penny. So little she had, but it was everything she had. Now, this is not a story of sacrifice. Somebody might read that and say, oh, this is a story of sacrifice. You have to give everything up. No, that's never what Jesus taught. He was not telling you to give everything up. He was telling you to have faith. In what do you believe? Where do you place your trust? Do you trust a universe that's abundant and overflowing? She did, and he's saying, yeah, those guys who have a lot of stuff and they're bringing all their treasures and they're so proud of it, okay, that's great. That's not wrong. But here she is, and she's only got these 2 coins, and she's willing to give her 2 coins. The consciousness and the faith of there's an endless supply and abundance. So I want to bring up Al Mahesh, who is your board treasurer, and don't cringe. He's not getting up here to ask you for money today. He will do that at some point. But today, I wanted him, because he shared with me a story of his own prosperity consciousness in transformation. So I'm going to let you have the stage, Al.
Thank you.
It's on.
So I am not asking for money. I can assure you that, not today. What I wanted to share with you was something that happened in 1994. Elise and I had opened up a business in advertising, and we were really working very, very hard to make things go in the business. And we were just married. So we decided we were going to learn how to meditate. So we went to this little place in Richardson called Ananda Church of Self-Realization. I took a class, Elise took a class, and then soon I became a member of that little church. And it wasn't that little. There were about 40, 50 people over there. But the preacher, once I became a member, the preacher came to me, the senior minister who became a friend of mine later on, said, I need 3 things from you. I need your time, I need your energy, and I need your money. He was very, very, very direct about that. And at that time, I didn't have a lot of money. We were barely making our mortgage. We were barely making things meet. But I said, I really don't have a lot of money. He said, you'll figure it out. And he left. So I did. What happened was that a friend of mine called me. He owned a photography studio. He says, there's a guy who used to clean my deal, and he just quit. And he said, look, John, I'll clean your church. This is what I want from you. I want you to give me $125. And he said, sure, you come. So every Sunday for several years, I cleaned his photography studio, and that's how I gave my money. And if I can show you my Social Security statement, it'll show from 1994 how my income just increased. So in 2002, I made over $329,000. Now, I did not get any smarter, I can assure you. There was some grace that came through me that helped me get to that level. Now, ever since I joined Unity, I have been giving. I joined here in 2018. I've been giving of my time. Tony and I led meditation for 5 years. We started the meditation again. And then I taught classes, and I even still teach classes. But I never stopped giving. The reason I give is, I'm not giving to something. I'm not giving to a source. I'm giving as source. And James Buchanan used to talk to me a lot about that. And he said, give as source. So when we become in ownership of this place, we give as source. So that's my story.
Thank you, Al.
I could tell a similar story. Whenever Alexis Rice was teaching spiritual economics, I remember I was kind of behind in my reading. I remember the moment I was on an airplane on a business trip, and I finished that book, and I closed the cover, and I went, I get it. I finally get it. So it's important to remember that we are giving from a consciousness, from source, from an expression of that which is divine, that we actually are. But I'm going to give you some real quick, we talked about spiritual principles, but I'm going to talk to you real quick about some psychology of giving, because the Greater Good Science Center, is anybody familiar with them? They're affiliated with UC Berkeley. They say giving makes you happy because giving increases the endorphins in your brain. This is scientifically proven. Everything they do is based on scientific research. It's good for your health because people who give and volunteer and get involved actually live longer and in better health than others. It promotes cooperation and connection. And connection actually builds up your, what do you call that stuff that mothers, it's oxytocin is the one. Oxytocin, which you get from good hugs. But giving and connection, and it promotes gratitude. And next week in receiving, I may touch a little bit on some of the brain science around gratitude. And it actually increases the gray matter in your brain. So by giving, you promote your gratitude, which increases your gray matter in your brain. It's just all good in every possible way. And also, giving is contagious. If someone receives, you're giving, someone's receiving, then they are feeling more abundant, and then they are in a more giving mood. And look at this picture. The little girl's receiving, and here she's turning around and giving. And I have a little story in my own family. My great-nephew, there were 4 boys in her family, but the oldest one had this game. And he would never let his brother play it. But he was really good at it. So one Christmas, the older brother got a new game, and the younger brother got that same game for his own fun. So the older brother's frustrated because he's learning a new game. And the second brother said, well, you can have my game. The one who he never allowed to play with it in the first place says, you can have my game. And his mom and I both looked and were like, you don't have to give him your game. And he looked at us and he said, but it's Christmas. Isn't that what it's about? And we were like, oh yeah. We were so like, oh, you're right. But it's contagious, right? It's something that we feel good about. It gives us so many good feelings. And why is all this? Why does it matter? Why am I telling you all these things about Hermetic principles and unity principles and psychology? Because we live in an energy field. We are influencing not only the energy field around us, but the energy field of others. It is a ripple effect in the world. And you taking care of yourself and choosing prosperity, choosing to give, expands that energy in the world. This is from the HeartMath Institute. I'm sure that plenty of you are familiar with it. So today, I'm going to leave it with giving you a practice for the week, because that's what I like to do. This is your homework, as some say. So get into giving. So maybe right now you give plenty of time, but you don't give your money. Or you give plenty of money, but you don't give your time. Or you don't take a moment and make a connection with someone. Whatever it is that you need to do, go into the silence. Your heart and your soul knows exactly what you need. Sit in silence and listen for that communication. Listen to your heart and then give. Give from that consciousness of whatever it is. Even if I believe I'm lacking in this moment, I know by choosing to give from that consciousness of whatever it is, that it's truly more than enough, I know I can change it. Because why? Because God is an I am. Let's say it together. I am an expression of God. I am an expression of God. Namaste. Thank you.